Next time you're at the thrift store, pick yourself up a couple of lampshades. To begin my project, I just took apart the lampshade, so I just began with some scissors, cutting apart the fabric and ripping it off. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this little knob back on. Then I'm going to go ahead here with a hot glue gun, just going to attach this faux moss onto the wired parts. I came in with these solar fairy lights and wrapped them all around my lampshade. At night, once the solar lights have charged, they light up and they provide just a cool atmosphere for my backyard.
First, let's prep the pumpkins. I spray painted all of the pumpkins a basic white. I lightly sprayed the pumpkins with a green spray paint, kind of like an overspray. Once they're completely dry, then we can reattach the pumpkin stems. I took an upholstery needle and pierced through the ball to create a little tunnel. And then I push floral wire through to the other side with the folded edge. Then on the other side, you've got two little tails. Just take each one of those tails, fold it around the edge of the pumpkin ball, and just stick it into the side of the ball. Now is the really fun part. We get to glue the pumpkins onto the styrofoam ball. Once the pumpkins and succulents are glued to the ball, you will notice there are still nooks and crannies, so fill those with moss. Finally, tie a ribbon to the wire loop that you made earlier on, and you now have a beautiful pumpkin ball that is ready for hanging.
So we're going to remove this stem. I'm using raw silk fusion mineral paint, and I'm going to mix it with baking soda to give it some texture. And the paint's still wet. Sprinkle a little bit of the baking soda on top and just sort of go like this. While our pumpkin is drying, I've got an ordinary couple dollar wreath, and I'm going to cover it with water, soften it, and I'm going to let it soak overnight. I'm going to put some Annie Sloan wax on it. I'm going to first put a coat of clear, and then I'm going to come back with a little bit of dark wax. I have quite the collection of real stems, and all we're going to do is simply hot glue this on and hold it. You can use any kind of a basket. And I have this tall flower pot that I'm going to put in the center. I have some old burlap bags. I'm now going to take a grapevine wreath, and I like to pull it apart a little bit and just fit it right over the top. Now I have a large handful of Spanish moss, and now I'm going to place the pumpkin that we created. I'm going to add some berries. I just picked a couple sprigs up at Michael's. There is our front porch pumpkin decoration, and the beauty of this pumpkin is it will last forever.
So I grabbed this tomato cage and I took some Behr premium black matte spray paint, and I took it outside and I spray painted just the vertical poles of the tomato cage. Once the spray paint was fully dry and I cut off the top portion of my tomato cage, I then came in with some very heavy jute twine. You just start at one spot on the circle and you just lay your jute twine over top and hold it there until the hot glue sets. Once the hot glue sets, you just take the jute twine and you wrap it all around the circle. And then I just finish it off by securing it with a bit of hot glue. And then I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process on the other side of the tomato cage. This is my finished tomato cage plant stand. I actually made two to have an elevated look for my fall moms and my fall porch. So to begin, I'm going to take this paint from Dixie Belle in the shade Dry Sage. So I'm going to take this clay dirt here, and using a small stencil brush, I am going to tap it on into the semi-dry paint. Next, I'm going to take some gray black paint, and I'm actually going to work it into the dirt, and then I'm going to apply that onto the vase as well. Next, I'm going to take this old wreath form that I had laying around. Then I'm going to take some artificial leaves, and I'm going to take some gold wire, and I'm just going to poke it through the bottom of the leaf, and then I'm going to work the leaf into the wreath form. And then I'm going to take this rustic dried floral, and I'm going to work that in as well. And then this is the finished planter. Also added in some sticks that I just found in my backyard. That gives my planter some height.
The next time you are at your local dollar store, pick up some wire garden hanging baskets. Turn one wire basket upside down and place on top of a second basket. Secure together by using 3 zip ties that are placed equidistant from each other. Take a string of LED lights, hang the battery box inside the basket globe, and connect to the top. Turn the lights on and wrap the lights evenly around the globe. both vertically and horizontally. Secure the end of the light string to the basket using a twist tie. Using a leafy garland of your choice, start to tuck and glue the different leaves to the wire basket globe. Now, remember all those chains and hooks that you removed from the baskets? Let's put them to good use. Reconnect these chains of different lengths to the hooks and tighten the hook back together using some pliers. If you have a porch swing, here is a fun way to hang the globes without drilling additional holes into your porch ceiling. Thread the stick through your porch swing ceiling hooks to create a horizontal rod and hang your garden globes from the branch. Use your remote to turn the lights on and enjoy the warm glow of your new outdoor lighting.
I'm now going to stencil my design onto this middle bit of the napkin. I've got a really nice dark green here. Okay. That should be enough. Now this is dry and I've cut it into 4 bits. Using an artist's brush and some water, I'm going to paint around a section of leaves because I want to pull this part out. Any glue that you've got, and then taking one of my pieces that I've cut out, going to put it onto my pumpkin like that and smooth it down. And because it's got a white background, it just blends into the pumpkin. So I'm taking the same gel medium that I used before, and then I'm going to take some gold leaf and using a very soft brush, pat it down. And here are my finished pumpkins. I think it's really nice to have glam ones for a change.
Time to break out of jail. That is, the Walmart ball jail. You also need some green reindeer moss. Start by spray painting the Walmart ball with moss green spray paint. Separate the large pieces and stretch out any chunks that are thick. With a can of general spray adhesive, spritz a small portion of the ball with the adhesive. Take a small patch of green moss and press it onto the ball in the sticky area. Press and hold for a few seconds to make sure it sticks. Continue to spray the ball and attach the green moss to the outside. Once you cover the entire ball with spray adhesive and moss, give the entire moss-covered ball an overall coat of the spray adhesive. Style it in a woven basket for a textured boho look. Place in a low, colored glass bowl for a more modern look. And for a traditional look, a large ceramic pot is perfect for this moss-covered ball.
First step of this easy peasy process is going to be to paint our pumpkin white. We'll just take our decoupaged paper, get a little hole inserted in it. And now that we've let our pumpkin dry, now we're going to use our decoupaged medium gel. You can use Mod Podge, you can use whatever you so desire. All around the entire pumpkin and the bottom. We'll come over here, take our decoupage and begin wrapping it down. We're going to take this off. We'll just start applying our medium liberally on the bottom as well. Now that we've let our decoupage medium glue dry, now we're going to use some metallic gold here. Your jar of paint. Easy, simple fall tutorial that looks fabulous in any home.